I'm Erin.
And I'm Katie.
And you're listening to Ropedrop Parkhop.
Hello.
Hi, guys. We are batch recording today. So this is like...
So our brains are going to be a little bit tired, but we got this. We can do this.
We struggle when we do this. And today is podcast day. We have 2 episodes that we're recording right now to cover a vacation coming up. And we have our monthly Patreon Zoom call tonight. So we're going to prepare for that when we're done here.
Yeah.
It's Disneyland's birthday this week.
It is.
Happy birthday, Disneyland.
Happy birthday. That's on Wednesday, correct?
On Wednesday, it's also my sister-in-law's birthday.
That's how you remember?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's how I remember her birthday. Anyway, we don't need to talk about that. Just kidding. I remember her
here nor
birthday
there.
anyway because I love her. Let's read a review really quick before we get going.
Okay.
This one is from DisneyMom_2. Friday fun day with friends. Oh, I'm thinking that means that Friday is the day we release our podcast. So it must be for us.
I like it.
5 stars. This podcast is my favorite Disneyland podcast. It was incredibly helpful when planning my trip last summer. I love their helpful hints and their honesty. Dear Disney, these ladies rock. Thanks. That's so nice, DisneyMom_2. We appreciate it.
And we do try to be very honest and not always Disney defenders.
Right. They do lots of stuff that ticks us off.
Yes. But we also try to keep the podcast a little bit upbeat and on the happier side. Sometimes we have a wah-wah week.
Totally.
But thank you for appreciating our honesty, because that's what we strive for.
We do. And, you know, we're an independent podcast, and so we can share our independent opinions. We try hard to keep it civil and not dive too deeply into things that may be offensive or maybe kind of dipping into different things that, we just don't want to talk about, right?
Yeah, there's no reason to.
Right. So thank you for appreciating our honesty. And like I said, or like Katie said, we try to be honest and we try to tell you our honest opinions about things. And we may get it wrong sometimes, but
yes,
we do try hard to share what we think. So thank you for that. We appreciate it.
So not a whole lot of news this week. Besides it being Disneyland's birthday, there's some whisperings. Well, I guess it's not whisperings, but there may be a strike coming up soonish. So just something to be watching for if you have a trip coming up. I don't know how much it will affect anybody's trips coming up.
I don't know. I'm watching it a little bit too, and I'm just kind of curious. I don't know.
And I don't know all of the details behind.
Here is my opinion without knowing much, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, everybody should be able to earn a living wage.
Absolutely.
Obviously, people shouldn't have to live 20 people to an apartment to be able to afford to survive. Mm-hmm. Especially a company as large that takes in as much money as Disney. There's no excuse for not paying cast members livable wages. And so I fully support cast members. And if that's what they need to do, then I fully support them in that.
Yep. Totally agree. So anyway, just something to be watching for, and we will keep you updated if we hear any breaking news on that front and how things are going there.
Yeah. On the flip side, if it affects your vacation, that sucks too, right? So
it does.
Yeah. So just be mindful of it. Be aware. Keep an eye out on the news. We'll try to share things as we hear it. We're only weekly, and so we're not going to be able. And I'll share things on Instagram if I see anything coming up that's definite, or, something that could affect people's travel. I will share that. So go follow us on Instagram at Ropedrop.Parkhop if you don't already. I swallowed my drink down the wrong pipe a minute ago.
She's got some,
and I can't.
Some throat issues.
I can't recover.
It's usually me.
I know, it is usually you. I've been coughing and now I'm like dying, apparently. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Thoughts and prayers for Erin today.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's a hard time, guys.
Yes.
Okay, here's something interesting, though, that I've noticed. So the calendar now, the hours calendar and the entertainment calendar and whatnot goes out to August 27th, which is after the Halloween season kicks off. It kicks off on the 23rd of August, so we're looking at the Tuesday after, and we still can see Haunted Mansion on there as being closed, Space Mountain as being closed, the Animation Academy, all these things that we assume will be open by the 23rd when Halloween kicks off. So I'm curious to see. Disney is notorious for dropping things at the last minute, right?
They're not going to give us a heads up on it.
Right. So if you're looking at that, don't panic. Don't think, oh no, we're going that weekend and things aren't going to be open. They may not be. That's a possibility. But Disney is also a big fan of leaving everything on the closure calendar until the very last second and then dropping it. So don't read too much into it. Also, I'm going to mention really quickly, and we kind of touched on it a couple of weeks ago. If you are going during the Halloween season and you are at your 60-day mark and you are trying to get a character meal, they are not released yet. And I assume it's because of all the fall character meals they're doing at Goofy's and at Storytellers for the first time. That's exciting.
Yeah, that is fun.
I think we should do it while we're there. Anyway, they just obviously don't have the kinks worked out on those quite yet because they have not dropped. They are not available. I am watching. And don't panic.
Don't panic.
No
it's
panicking.
Not closed indefinitely.
No.
So Oogie Boogie Bash is officially sold out at this point.
Yep.
And also the summer ticket deal is still going on through the end of September.
September 26th.
Right. They also just dropped some new hotel discounts through the end of September, through when that ticket deal is. So if you are still thinking about doing a last minute summer trip or even into September when the crowds are honestly a little bit lower in September because everyone's gone back to school and fall breaks haven't started happening yet. So it would be a good time to plan. So reach out to us if you would like some help planning a last minute trip. We can make that happen for you.
And you should absolutely do it.
You should do it.
It's the happiest place on earth.
That's right. Peer pressure. Do it.
Any other news?
I don't think so.
I'm trying to think. I know some walls have come down. We're big fans of David over at Fresh Baked. He likes to hop up on the top of the Mark Twain and take a round and take some video. And some walls are starting to come down over in that dead area of the park back by Tiana's Bayou Adventure. So there's movement happening and there's progress happening, which I'm sure we'll talk about maybe in just a minute.
Yes, just a little bit.
Because Katie was at Disneyland this last weekend. So
one other thing that we haven't talked about yet is the new feature on the Disneyland website that allows you to change your tickets. Have you seen this yet?
Oh, yeah.
So we haven't really talked about it too much, but let me tell you. If you click on My Disneyland once you're signed into your account on Disneyland.com, Disneyland, what is it? Is it
on the website?
Go.disney.disneyland.
I just do Disneyland.com and it gets me there.
So under My Disneyland on the website, you will be brought to a page where you can select your eligible tickets that you can upgrade or change. So you can upgrade to a higher ticket tier, add days to a ticket,
add hoppers,
add Genie Plus, or even upgrade to Park Hopper.
Yeah.
So that's new. That's like super new. Previously, you had to go to a ticket booth to be able to do any of this.
Which is awful when you're not there.
When you don't live there.
Right. And you want to get some reservations for adding a day on. So great move, Disney. Thank you for listening to, honestly, this has been something guests have been asking for quite a while. So thanks for listening to that feedback and giving us that ability to change our tickets before we go.
Yep. Okay. I think that's it for news.
Unless we're missing something huge. Guys, summer is really just killer. We had so Katie was at Disneyland. I was at my niece's wedding this weekend. Life was just taking over and our heads were out of the game. So if we're missing something big, we're terribly sorry.
Yes.
We'll try to catch it next week and please forgive us.
Yeah. And just hang in there. Lots of things are closing down coming up. But
please just like us for us and not because we're like on top of the news.
All right, guys. We'll see you in a minute.
Mouse World Travel is an authorized Disney vacation planner specializing in vacation destinations all over the world. From frequent theme park getaways to annual family cruises to once-in-a-lifetime epic worldwide adventures, we can help you make those dreams a reality. At Mouse World Travel, we focus on quality vacations to provide guests with the most optimal experience. Our agents treat each trip as if it were their own, which means a special, personalized vacation just for you. Our agents provide concierge-level service during the vacation planning process, including offering recommendations to fit your family's needs, such as help choosing hotel or dining locations, suggesting add-ons or extras that we think your family might enjoy, offering tips and tricks to make the most out of your vacation, and answering questions to help you plan efficiently. Some of our more popular vacation destinations include cruise lines such as Norwegian and Royal Caribbean, all-inclusive destinations such as Sandals and Beaches, Universal Parks and Resorts, and, of course, the various Disney destinations, which include the theme parks, Disney Cruise Line, Adventures by Disney, and Alani. There's something for everyone, and no matter what type of vacation you're looking for, an expert agent at Mouse World Travel will help you get there. All right, Katie. You smell like Disneyland.
Do I? What does it smell like? Does it smell like churros? Does it smell like vanilla? Does it smell like popcorn?
Wishes, happiness.
All of that.
Yeah.
All of the above. Pirates.
We're pirate. Yes. Bromine. We are. This is weird, by the way. Okay, so you can't see us because this is not a visual medium, but we just recorded an episode that's going to be on in a couple of weeks, and we had a special guest on, so get excited. But we set up a ring light across the table from us, and we sit together on the same side of the table, on the same side of the booth at the restaurant, and record that way when we have guests. Well, we were just too lazy to move. So we're sitting next to each other, which we usually sit across from each other.
Right. So we can't look at each other in the eyes.
It's weird.
Or play footsie or any of that.
I can touch you.
Yeah, we can kind of do it.
It'd be easy.
But there's your visual. We're sitting next to each other romantically recording a podcast. Have you ever seen, do you watch Gilmore Girls?
I have not. I'm not super into it like some people are.
Yeah.
I've watched it here and there. I should. I want to watch it with Kenley, actually.
You should.
Because I've
good.
heard it's great for watching with your teen daughter.
Yes, I watched it with Hayden, and we had a great time. Like the 2 summers before he left home, we watched it together, and it's just like super awesome memories for me.
Okay, good.
So there's an episode where she goes on a date, and the guy sidles right next to her in the booth, and she's super uncomfortable because it's their first date. So she calls her mom, and she's like, "Mom, what do I do?" And she's like, "Tell him the air conditioning's blowing on you, and you have to move to the other side of the table."
So he moves.
Yeah. So he's like, "I can feel the air conditioner too." So he moves over to the other side. It's hilarious.
The air conditioner is actually blowing on us right here.
Always
it is kind of chilly. I'm not moving to the other side of the table. I already have made my decision.
That's right. We're here. Awkward date.
So, Katie,
let it commence.
Tell us about your trip.
Oh, it was so fun. It was amazing to get out of Boise and the triple-digit weather and go to somewhere that's close to the ocean where there's a lovely breeze blowing. Actually, Anaheim itself was relatively warm. And it wasn't as warm as it said it was going to be. It was supposed to be in the high 80s when I looked at the weather earlier in the week.
Right.
But by the time we got there, I think the highest it ever got was like 84.
Oh, which is pretty nice.
It is pretty nice. It feels super warm when you're on the asphalt in the middle of the day and the sun is out. But we did convince Jack, miracle of miracles, to take a break in the middle of the day on Saturday.
And go swim.
And go hang out at the hotel for a little bit.
I think like the thing, and we've talked about this so many times, Disneyland weather is fantastic. Even if it's hot, it's only for a few hours midday.
Yeah.
And then it's cool in the evening, it's cool in the morning. And it's nice.
I feel like the sun sets a little bit earlier there than it does here because they're on that edge of the time zone.
Yep.
And there's enough trees and buildings around that the sun goes behind things earlier in the day than you would think. So our tips are always find something inside to do during those midday hours or go take a break.
Pool.
Yep.
How was the pool? You guys stayed, where did you stay?
The Disneyland Hotel.
I love that pool so much.
Yes, it's a beautiful pool. And with the addition of the DVC tower, now you have another option over there where the cute Steamboat Willie splash pad is. Yeah. And it has a lovely pool area.
It feels quieter back there.
It is a little bit quieter. And also there's that Palm Breeze new bar restaurant that you can order stuff from and hang out poolside and eat. That? We didn't, no. But we did eat at Trader Sam's that day when we took our midday break, which was really nice.
Did you guys walk up?
Yes. So I was furiously texting Aaron while we were in line I think we were in line for Millennium Falcon, and I had found a reservation. There were 6 of us total. I had found a reservation for 4 at 1:10.
Yeah.
And I could see that there was a reservation for 2 people at 1:15 when I went in to try to modify it.
And you have to switch.
Right. So my husband was logged into my account. So I was having him log into his own account to try and grab it. For some reason, it was not popping up for him. And so then I had my mother-in-law trying, and her Disney app is dumb and like sends her an email verification every time she tries to send in, and then her emails weren't coming through. So she couldn't even get logged in. Anyway, I was texting Aaron saying, "Hey, grab this." I don't know if it was because I already had a reservation for 4, if it was like technically just going to let me modify it to that reservation for 2, and that's why it wasn't showing up for anybody else.
Maybe.
So anyways, we ended up just canceling that and doing a walk-up. And I think we waited maybe 40 minutes total.
And that means you sit outside.
That means you sit outside, which was kind of a bummer because the inside is really where the fun is.
Right.
The show, when you order the fun drinks and they do a little show for you.
And they squirt you with water.
Someday we'll do it. With 6 people, it's kind of hard because there aren't any tables for 6 inside. So you have to split up your party. And kids can't sit at the bar area, so you have to count on finding a table. But Anyway, Trader Sam's, lovely, delightful. A lot of people try to get those reservations at 60 days out. They don't always drop at 60 days right
They're
away.
so hard. So I have someone going in September, and there's a party of 6, and we're trying to get, and I've got it for, I can't remember how many I have it for, 3, I think.
Yeah.
So I've got part of their party, and I'm just sitting waiting, trying to get the other 3. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. It's just a very tiny space inside, which is part of what makes it fun, is it's a very intimate feeling.
Totally.
But totally recommend it. And my tip for you is just, people drop their reservations all the time. So just keep checking back or have an alert set on whatever app that you use to have your dining alerts.
And when we were there in March, when you and me and Betsy, our friend Betsy, were there in March, we were able to snag indoor Trader Sam's reservations. Gosh, we were able to grab a couple. We had choices.
We did.
Just the day before. So pay attention as you are on your trip, because, that's when people are like, you know what? We don't want to leave the park tomorrow. We're going to cancel. And it's easy to grab sometimes.
Yeah. Same with like Lamplight Lounge or Blue Bayou. If you just keep checking beforehand, a lot of people. So we actually ended up grabbing a Blue Bayou for Friday during the day. Yep. And it had been a while since we've eaten there. My family and I. Right. Anyway, I think maybe like 2017.
Okay.
Maybe even.
It's been a while
maybe
since
later
we've
than
eaten.
But anyway, it was so lovely.
Was it?
I love Blue Bayou.
I do
it's great.
too.
The food was good. Jack and I split a Monte Cristo, which he was hesitant to do because he said he was really hungry. And then he ended up eating a third of his sandwich. And I ate a third, and then we had a third left over.
So there was plenty.
It was fine.
It's easy to share. And they let you share.
Then you can share an entree. And then we each got a gumbo for our starter. The only downside now, and I think it's been this way for a little while, but you do not get the pommes frites. The French fries when you dine in Blue Bayou, only at Cafe Orleans.
A salad.
They're homemade. They're house-made chips, which are yummy too, and they're good dipped in the remoulade as well. But it's just not the same as the pommes frites.
No,
they're so good.
It's probably why I choose Cafe Orleans over, because pommes frites are. They are. Mwah.
And Aaron asked me what the highlight of the trip was. I kind of think it was the Blue Bayou experience.
Really,
there was a couple. So we were like one table away from the water, and there was a couple sitting right on the water, and they would wave furiously at every boat that went by. And you could tell that it was probably their first time at the restaurant. Like they were so excited to be there, and they were super cute, and they had glow cubes in their drinks. Like they had gone all out. You could tell. Yes. And at one point I was like, I just had kept keeping an eye on them. At one point they stood up, and their server was taking pictures of them by the water, and he had them like turn around and wave at the boats for a video.
That's so cute.
And then he got down on one knee.
Stop it.
Yes. It was the cutest thing. And the whole restaurant erupts and cheers. It was so, so cute.
And was she surprised?
She was so surprised.
That's so cute.
And then they had family waiting in the wing to come up and join them and congratulate them. And it was a really, really sweet moment. And I love those Disney magic moments like that. And I was like, Hayden, here's an idea for you. For in like 10 years when you're ready. Yes. It was perfect. It was so, so cute.
That is so cute. Does Hayden listen to the podcast ever?
Probably not.
Okay, good. When Kenley's old enough.
There we go.
Kenley
they can be Disney buddies.
But...
Yes. Cute. Anyway.
I joke all the time, guys, that Kenley should marry Hayden.
Yes.
Someday. Not yet. The age difference is a little too much at this point.
Aaron doesn't get enough time with me, so we have to be in-laws as well.
Right. I am teary, though. That is the cutest thing I've ever heard. I've told this story before, but my niece who got married this past weekend, we were just kind of sitting the night before her wedding, and we were all sitting, we went to dinner, and we were all just kind of talking about cute things that she used to do and going through pictures and looking at stuff. And we went on a girls' trip in, when was it? 2019, I think. And it was me and my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law, and then Kenley and 2 of my nieces. And Shaylee at the time was probably, well, let's see, that was 5 years ago. So she was, 14? She's 19, you guys. She's a baby. But she was 14-ish. And when we were getting ready to go, she said, I have 2 things that I need to do while I'm there. And I said, okay. And she says, number 1, I want to see someone propose. And I was like, okay. And she said, and I want a picture in front of the castle with no people.
Oh,
and
those are 2 big asks.
Huge asks. Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, don't be disappointed when neither of those things happen. And so one of the evenings we were watching fireworks, and we were right up at the front of the hub. Somehow we got super lucky. And when the fireworks were over, the cast member walks up like he's going to move the rope, and we were going to hurry and try to take a picture. And he as he started to move the rope, I started to move forward like we were going to enter that area. And he was like, I'm sorry. He's like, we're not opening quite yet. But he let this family through. And I was like, why is he letting them through? And as they walked through, you could tell that the guy grabbed the girl by the hand and walked her up. And I was like, Shaylee. And I grabbed her.
Happening.
I'm like, it's happening. And so they proposed right there. And then as soon as they were done, there was nobody there and everybody had cleared out from the fireworks. So nobody was waiting to get into the area. And so we got a picture of her right in front of the castle.
So Shaylee's wishes and dreams came true all in one fell swoop.
Right then and there.
I love it.
Yep.
That's so cool.
It was awesome.
Let me tell you about the low part of our trip.
Oh, okay. You guys, I've heard nothing. I've tried to get information out of her. She's like, I'm saving it for the podcast.
I'm saving it for the podcast. So I really, really wanted my family to see Magic Happens, right?
Yes.
And so I'm trying to remember. I had looked at the app the day before on Thursday.
Yeah.
I swear in my mind it was at 3 and 5. Like,
okay.
That's how I remembered it.
Okay.
So I did not check the app again. When we were in the park on Friday, it was, 4:30-ish in the afternoon. And Noah wanted the pretzel garlic cheese bread, which
delightful.
So good, right? Anyway, we ordered that at Edelweiss Snacks. And then there just happened to be like this sitting area by Small World facing the parade route in front of some stairs. And so I knew nobody was going to be standing in front of us. So we were sitting. It was super hot. The sun was just beating down on the area. And I was like, if
anybody
you
else
just
sitting near you?
People?
Yeah. Were other people acting like they were coming to see the parade?
Yes.
Okay.
There were tons of people lining the street. I mean, like it was parade time in my mind. Well, 5 o'clock came and went, and like Heath is sweating.
And
I have my fan out. Everyone was so annoyed with me, except for sweet Becky, who was like, I'm excited to see it. I think she had seen it once before.
And it's such a great parade.
It's a great parade. And I didn't know how my family's not huge into parades.
Okay.
So like for them to sit with me anyway was a big ask. But the sun is beating down on us. 5 o'clock came and went. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it started down at Main Street, right?
Right.
And it's coming. It's on its way. And then I finally decided to look at the app and I'm like, they're going to kill me. It's actually 5:30 when it's supposed to start. And it started at Main Street. So it didn't come through till probably 5:45, 5:50. By the time it came, I don't think they were into it at all. I was like, Hayden, aren't the Cockamoras cute? And he's like, yeah, they're great.
They're like, I hate that sticking parade.
Yep. So
but
now
they stayed.
They did stay. They were very sweet and they stuck it out with me.
Oh.
But I mean, they had there was a new drink at Edelweiss Snacks. It's a lime mango slushie.
Okay.
They loved that.
Good.
That was really good.
Nice and cooling.
Somebody had a frozen Coke. So, I mean, they had sustenance. They were fine. We had popcorns and anyway, it was fine. And I love that parade so much. When Merlin comes around that corner and does his little dance, like I just get the giggles every time. Yes.
Or were they all just...
Because how often do you get to see Merlin?
Never.
Not very often.
Especially dancing.
Yes.
Tearing
he's
up,
just
what is it
so
called?
cute. Cutting a rug.
Cutting a rug.
I love him so much.
He's great. Okay,
Anyway.
well, I'm glad that everybody stuck it out.
Yes. So as far as low points go, it's not too bad of a low point, right?
No. Everyone survived.
They
and it's
survived.
Disneyland. And I think even the low points at Disneyland, you're at Disneyland.
Absolutely.
So be happy about it.
Absolutely.
Okay, so how many days did you guys do in the park? You guys did the first night.
Yes, we did. So we got there around 4 in the afternoon on Thursday. We actually surprised my family and upgraded us to club level.
You did?
We did.
Oh, that was fun.
Yes. They had some club level rooms available and it was for not much more than I had already spent. So I was like, we're going to upgrade and we're going to enjoy it. And they loved it. And I think they're going to have a hard time going back to non-club level. It's really hard not to be spoiled.
It is.
So we spent an hour or so in the club having some snacks, pre-gaming, if you will.
Yeah.
Before we went to the parks. And then we went in, we had Genie Plus, so I started pulling lightning lanes as soon as we got in there and started riding rides. And then our sweet listener, Sumit, favorite guy ever, drove up from his house in San Diego and hung out with us for a couple of hours. And we rode some rides and got some dinner at Jolly Holiday, had the toasted cheese and tomato soup. It was perfect. And yeah, it was a lovely night. But yeah, we do have the most amazing listeners.
We do.
And we are excited for our meetup coming up next year. So if you haven't already marked your calendars for the second weekend in February
8th,
plan on it.
Yes.
We're excited.
Heath came in later.
Heath came in later and met up with us in the parks and we rode a few more rides. I feel like we didn't stay We stayed pretty much until close that night. I think we were there till 11:45-ish. And then headed out because we were going to be rope dropping the next morning. And we started at DCA. We had early entry, which is so nice. My teenagers are a little bit harder to get out the door for rope drop in the mornings. And especially with club level, having breakfast, like it's really hard to...
We did great with that.
Yes.
Because we are adults and we are in control.
It's kind of hard. Yes, it's kind of hard to herd my kittens in the morning when we have to stop and eat breakfast before we go. So we didn't make it into the park until a little after 7:30, which actually is kind of fine with me because then you're not stuck in those long lines of people waiting to rope drop, right?
If you can hit that sweet spot.
So,
great.
so we walked right in through the gate, no line at all, and then walked right through the early entry checkpoint.
To Guardians?
Right onto Guardians,
of course. I saw the picture of your boys. So cute.
So cute.
We'll
Anyways, it's lovely to have an early entry morning at either of the parks.
Yeah, I agree.
It's just a really nice feeling. And I will say the parks felt a little bit less than medium busy, I think is the best way to explain it.
Okay. Because
like a normal busy. Yeah, I would say that they felt pretty light. There were no wait times that were astronomical. There were a couple of times when there would be a lot of rides down at once, and then something like Matterhorn would surge up over an hour.
Yeah.
Space Mountain seemed to be down a lot while we were there.
Maybe that's why they're shutting it down.
Maybe
next
so.
month.
She needs a little upkeep.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I got to meet up with another friend.
Uncle Matt?
No. Oh, yes, Uncle Matt as well.
You did see Uncle Matt.
I did see Uncle Matt.
She sent me a picture.
It was a lovely weekend of meeting up with people. A friend from here in Boise that I booked a trip for, and she was there actually for Dance the Magic, which I thought having Dance the Magic there would make it feel really busy and there would be little dancers everywhere, but it was a relatively small group of dancers, and then they got to dance in the Magic Happens parade.
Oh, they did?
Alongside, which... We missed it. Sorry, Sarah. I told her I was going to try and catch it that day, but I could not make my family sit through the parade again.
They were not having it. Nope, not doing that again.
We're out. Anyways, we met up with her and her cute little daughter over at Rise of the Resistance. They were hopping in line for it and told us to hurry over, and then the ride shut down while they were in line. So they got evacuated out of the line, and we walked over to Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway together and rode that. Standby, and it was the first time that they had been on it, so that was kind of fun to experience that with them. I'm trying to think what other highlights I can tell you about. Obviously, the construction is still going on strong over by Tiana's. It does not.
Does it feel oppressive?
It does feel oppressive, and it does not feel anywhere near done.
I know. Did you ride the train?
We did, yes.
And did you get a good glimpse?
I did.
Okay.
So Hayden took a video behind us.
Okay.
And I took a video in front of us.
Okay.
I'm telling you, it looks like it's
like they just
6
started?
months away from being done. It's really, really still in shambles.
That's kind of the vibe I get when I watch videos on YouTube about it.
Yeah. The only thing I can think is maybe the ride is almost ready and they'll figure out some kind of a walkway to get back to the ride without having to open up the rest of Critter Country yet.
Right.
Or they're going to light a fire and get it done.
That's what I was going to say. Maybe we just don't know enough about how that works. And 24 hours a day, if they're working on it throughout the night, they can whip it out. You know?
I mean, so from our lovely view up there in club level, you can see pretty much the entire resort. And it looks like the mountain itself is done. Mm-hmm. The bayou, I guess. It's not a mountain anymore. It's still a hill.
Right.
Some kind of a something. A mound.
Mound in the bayou.
It looks pretty much done to me. But they are working on that new entrance, right, from the Disneyland Hotel into downtown Disney. Mm-hmm. That's all shut down right now. Yes. And they, in the time that we were there, had a bunch of new concrete poured. That wasn't there when we got there.
So it goes quickly.
I mean, it's possible if they get the ball rolling, it'll go quicker than we think.
And we are always surprised how quickly things wrap up at the end.
That's true. It does.
I'm a little disappointed, I'm not going to lie, that you did not go to Din Tai Fung.
I'm sorry.
You had reservations.
I did, but only for 4 people.
Was it after the parade debacle?
It would have been before the parade debacle.
So see,
the
you
reservations.
could have done it.
I could have.
I feel like had it been after, I'd feel a little bit more inclined to accept your excuses. Because then, people would be anyway.
Let me tell you though, every time we walked by Din Tai Fung, the standby line was long out the door.
Around the building.
So crazy around the building. Yep.
Yeah.